Hey Chris, nice to have you with me. Sorry, I realized I was started a little bit later than normal. Hi the one, nice to have you with me. So, all right, I'll probably get started here in a little bit. It's been a crazy week. How have you been, Chris? Thank you, I appreciate that. That means a lot. I know I try to start at 8 Eastern every single time, but sometimes, things get a little busy and it doesn't always work out. But thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And I guess if anyone plays mobile, I'm like 99% sure that we're having a Maya Soulstone event tonight. So if you play mobile, just a heads up. And awesome. So you just hit level 124 and you beat Cormac, which is awesome. He's super annoying. It took me a while to get past him. And I'm glad to hear that your week's been going well. I know it's been crazy. I know a lot of schools right now are, seeing a rise in COVID cases. So a lot of schools are getting shut down right now. And yeah, what team did you end up using, Chris, when you took on the Cormac team? Okay, so obviously we have the Skinstone and Outland event going on right now. And do I even really need to get some of these soul stones? I'm not entirely sure if I need them or not, but I guess I can claim some of the items. I need those anyway. So you used your main team, which was Martha, Yasmin, Kira, Rufus, and Ju. All right, well, I could definitely see that being very effective. I mean, Yasmin in herself is very, very effective. And, oh, so use Jorgen instead of Ju. Okay, makes sense. But yeah, I think with Yasmin, that level definitely has become easier just because pre-Yasmin, it was very, very difficult, I will say, to beat Cormac. Just because, at least for me it was, because I used Kark. And at the time, um, Kark's better with multiple opponents. So with just one opponent, it can be kind of annoying. Oh, so use Ju instead of Jorgen. Gotcha, gotcha. Hi, what's up, man? Nice to have you with me. Always a pleasure. Love seeing that little, cat for your, is it avatar? I'm not sure if they still call it that, but nice to see you here. Okay, so I will start getting into some stuff. I know some people have been asking me, what have you been up to? You haven't posted too much lately. So, yeah, so right now I am trying to make some videos for counters, right? So I'm working on a Rufus video right now. And obviously, I'll give you a heads up. Obviously, physical attackers are very useful against Rufus. But another, couple things that you probably, well, you'll know once you see the video as well. But there's a pet obviously that's very effective, and if you have a magic attack team only, there's a workaround to basically taking down Rufus as well. Okay. Hey Stelios, nice to have you with us. Doctoras is in the house. Love to see that. That's awesome. Ooh, I think I actually did some arena today, so I think see if I ended up staying in a similar rank. Did I already claim it? No, ranking reward. Yeah, so I ranked 25 in arena today, so not too bad. 35 in grand arena, so I actually had time to do some arena stuff today. All things considered, not too bad considering I only really have one almost maxed out hero. And those are some group gifts. And then the 500 energy from this event, right? Use Martha and Juice so nobody dies. Martha has a lot of health, and she heals Rufus for the backup armor, and Kira and Yaz for the damage. Always a good call. And nice. Yeah, hey, 89 is respectable. Honestly, if you can get in the top 100 in ranking, I would say that's very respectable. And it's also really nice because it gets you exactly what you need for the day, right? Because you need 120 emeralds pretty much to do your daily stuff, right? 20 emeralds in the exchange and 100 in energy, ideally. Okay, so here is what I wanted to do. I wanted to finish off my fox, right? We're one soulstone away, so I just need that one soulstone there, and we are able to absolute Fox, which is amazing because the faster I can finish up all my heroes, the more I can focus on simply just getting the items that I need. And yeah, I love your emoticon icons as well. What's up, man? Always love that. That's awesome. Um, okay, so Chris Sear is saying his Kira has 19.3k armor pen, so it won't work for everyone, but she could pierce Cormac. And thank you, yeah, Absolute Fox. You know, hey, it's been a while, and I try to leave all the heroes that I still need to absolute heroes that are within the campaign. So hopefully that'll be not too much work because obviously I still have to go through Thea, right? She's still got a ways to go here. And the other ones that I have to continue to work on are Astrid and Lucas, Artemis, Ginger, Peppy, Mojo, and Heidi, and then I'm done. But I'm not entirely sure who I'm going to focus on next. It looks like Peppy has a good portion done, but everyone else is pretty much just starting on the level 5. So yeah, I'll probably start working on Peppy a little bit next, just because it looks like she has the most soul stones left out of the characters that I need to work on still. So that's what I've got going on here. Let's go ahead and go to the airship real quick, because I do need to work on my twin team, right? I mean, my twins are still not ready to go at all yet. They work all right in, was it Grand Arena, but they don't work great in Arena just yet. So here's my Lars. We're not able to really do too much here. Where's my Krista at? Krista finally into purple here. And I think we'll just go ahead and exchange some of these purple ones to get her to the point of being able to use some purple ones as well. And here, oh, okay. And here we still got a long way to go there. Okay, so it looks like I have some artifact coins I can use. And most of that's from Tournament of Elements, right? So the Tournament of Elements award gives you those scrolls, and from those scrolls I traded those in for the artifact coins, right? So let's take a look. I think I'm working on this first artifact, right? So we are more than halfway done to completing absolute that first artifact for my Lars. I want to finish Lars before I moved on to Krista, just the way I decided to do it. Expeditions, we still have some expeditions to go over here, of course, right? I don't think I have enough power to go ahead and do the 15-minute one yet. Yeah, so how short am I on power here? About 40k, so quite short, for being honest. And we'll claim these rewards because I haven't done that yet. But yeah, so it's been a crazy week. I mean, I'm trying to think. What did I end up doing today, or this week? I'm trying to think. So I meant on making that Rufus video earlier in the week, and then I ended up finding out, we got an email like midweek that the school was no longer going to have in-person classes, so now I'm all online. In addition to that, another crazy thing that happened was we got informed that we had to pick our classes this week. So that, in conjunction with the fact that they decided to move up the finals deadline, so there's no reading period now, and we're going straight into finals after, I think we have one or two more weeks of instruction, and then it's pretty much just straight finals. So I've been a little bit slammed on stuff, but you know, it's nice to get away and have some time to play the game and, you know, just talk with you guys and see how you guys are all doing. Hey Abdul, nice to have you with me. So yeah, it's been crazy. I'm sure everyone's been having a crazy time as well. Hopefully, you know, it's not too bad. But I realize obviously things are still not going to be normal for a while. This is our kind of our new normal, which, you know, take it or leave it. It is what it is. Just, you know, working through it and doing our best and having fun playing the game, right? So no complaints. And I have to open my Titan artifact spheres, right? I got 5 of those from the Facebook page earlier today. So I'm going to open those now. And so one thing that I've been noticing a lot, and that this happens in my guild as well as, you know, around the block in terms of all the guilds, but one thing that I wanted to point out in pet adventures, right? So a lot of times I see people going for lower level pet adventures because they want to get a certain stone, if we'll call it that. Here, someone messed up a path. But anyway, so for example, let's say you have, well, I guess all my pets have something on them right now. But let's say, for example, you needed the well, no, you needed the rare dusk stone, right? And I don't know, let's say that's in adventure level 7. You shouldn't go to adventure level 7. You're better off, instead of, in trying to get lucky and get this particular stone, you're better off doing the highest level of adventure you can, ideally going for 4 chests, and basically trading in your what is it called? Chaos particles. Trading in your chaos particles and basically purchasing it with your chaos particles. I know a lot of you guys know that already, but if you weren't sure, it's definitely a better return on investment to basically trade in your chaos particles instead of just hoping that you get lucky and you get the particular stone that you need from an adventure. It's not a good use of your time, and you're getting less for your buck. So we've got a question mark here, which is a pretty interesting username. But hey, nice to have you with us here as well. Okay, so right now, as you can tell, I'm working on Axel next. So I am going to be trying to get all my pets to purple. And everyone was saying Axel's really good. I believe you guys, because Axel's the newest pet. Usually the newest pet or the newest thing is usually pretty good. So I will be trying to level up my Axel, right, and charging him up a bit. So I will be doing that. I want to get everyone to blue first, obviously, but purple is ideal because that's when you can actually get the patronage going. Blue, you can attach the patronage, but it doesn't do you a whole lot of good. Okay, so we can't quite finish off Axel and get him into blue just yet, but we're getting close. And here you can see I'm leveling up Kane in terms of levels, but I am working on powering up the items on Axel here. So I got one more. Okay, so Chris saying, do you have any guesses for new things coming up? They've been saying, they being Hero Wars himself, have been saying for a while that they're going to put a new pet event in. That's a regular event, similar to, how we had the Titan events, the Children of Prophecies, even though lately we haven't even been having that event. We've been having, like, specific Titan events, which is whatever. Okay, fine. But we're supposed to have a generic pet event at some point before, in between now and Christmas, is what we've been told many times. Result-wise, we haven't had it yet, but that's what we're supposed to have as a heads up. And then usually right around Winterfest, right, so Christmas time, we will typically have a brand new hero as well. So that's my guess right now. I don't think we're going to get too much out of the ordinary other than that. So Axel increase healing. Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about Axel. I've also seen his skills. I haven't been able to use them myself yet, but I've obviously it looks very promising. So I'll be working on that for sure. Apparently for twins, it's Mara on Lars, Merlin on Krista. I'll have to double check exactly what patronage can go with those two, but if you've heard that, I'm pretty sure that sounds right if I remember correctly. So Mara, let's see, what is Mara's patronage? So magic attack and magic defense, and you're saying Mara would be put on Lars, and Merlin, where's Merlin? Magic attack, magic penetration on Krista. Interesting. So I could see it going either way, and here's why. So magic attack and magic penetration. So Lars is typically known to be the magic attack, magic penetration damage dealer. So if you want Lars to be that, right, which is straight like magic attack, magic penetration, you would want to put Merlin on Lars. But if you want to have the most balanced team, right? So this is also for defense. You would want to give Merlin to Krista because Krista actually has very good offensive capabilities as well. And Mara, right, gives more magic defense. So if there's an opponent Lars or an opponent magic Satori, for example, I guess you would be able to counter a little bit better with your Lars, and he'd be able to stay in the fight longer. And magic attack would still help boost all of his basic normal attacks as well as some of his skills. So I could see that being very much the case. I think that's a good point. You could go either way, though, if I'm being 100% honest. Um, but yeah, and you're saying Mara increases stun thingy. So, well, I don't have her unlocked here, but let's see. Increases the duration of stun, blinding, silence, slow, charm, and mind control. Well, there you go. Just like you said. Okay. And you want an Earth Titan event. Eden's really, really close to absolute. Hey, you know what? Who knows? It could happen. I personally think, I mean, I don't know. With winter coming up real quick, we may have an Earth event. You might get lucky. Or it might not come until after, I would say, probably January, February at the latest, would be my guess for another Earth-specific Titan event. But we'll see what happens. You never know. Hero Wars has been changing some stuff up. You're 250 Soul Stones away from a 5-star Hyperion. Hopefully you get that. Hopefully you get a pull, and that could potentially get you the 250 Soul Stones that you need. Okay. And Lars is insane for stun. I have to look at his skills again, but I believe you. I just don't use him enough yet on my main team to remember off the top of my head here because I'm so used to Kark and his stunning. So let's see. Lars, Lord of the Storm, Chain Lightning maybe? No. Here we go. Yeah, Lightning Bolt. So that's the one that would do the stun. And yeah, I think, that makes sense where you increase that duration of the stun. That just allows you to basically do more damage, take down the opposing team more. So that makes perfect sense that you would want to give, I think it was Mara with the additional stun to Lars. So that makes sense. Jay, are you going to have a Discord server? Do you have one? I have a Discord, like I have my own Discord account. I don't have a server yet. So, I mean, hey, if you want to talk a little later and you want to help me set that up, I'm more than happy to set one up. I just haven't had the time to get around to actually doing all that, but I absolutely probably should, and I probably should do that, right? So I'll get into that. I'll look into that a little bit more, but if you want to, talk a little bit later, I'm sure you can hit me up on Discord and whatnot, or in game, either way. But yeah, I'd love to do that. If you have time to help me out, more than happy. If not, then it will probably be a little bit of a delay, but I'll work on that. Okay. Water event will come because it's rainy right now. Fair enough. Fair enough. I know. I'm trying to think with Winterfest and everything. I mean, I just don't see. I mean, Thanksgiving they usually do like a mini event, but nothing crazy that I remember from years past. And I don't really think that we're gonna have a major event before Christmas, but we have a whole month, so I would assume they're gonna probably try to throw in a pet event. I hope that they've been saying they're gonna have this generic pet event. It's about time that they throw it in there. I've been waiting for a while. I think it's time. All right. So I hope that I pull Eden once more. Haven't pulled a super for a few weeks. Okay. Did Facebook have a Black Friday event last year? So Facebook did have a Black Friday event, but my recollection was that it was mainly. Let's see. I thought it was just a Skinstone sale, but that may have been for Cyber Monday. I'm trying to think now. Do you know Calvin the Sneak from Discord? I absolutely know Calvin the Sneak from Discord. Great guy. He's on my server, actually. I believe... Let's see. He's definitely on my server. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. Let me see. I know... Let's see. So Guild Wars. I'm pretty sure he's I think they're in. They just snuck into Gold League, I think. So I want to say he's in. Ooh, I want to say Club of Exiles. Yeah, so Calvin the Sneak right here. I got you. I know where he's at. Yeah, so I mean, let's see. Of course, my game's starting to freeze up a little bit on me here. But yeah, so, he's doing well. I'm sure he's doing fine. Let's see. So I think that it was a pet event. Maybe that's when we will get the pet event. I hope we get a pet event. I mean, honestly, it's just been so difficult to accumulate the soul stones, in my opinion, for the pets. I mean, I've been stuck on 4-star. I'm not even kidding. For what feels like forever. It's probably only really been like 2 or 3 months, but like it feels like forever. I mean, I'm not even close on Axel because Axel didn't, they didn't introduce any new soul stones for him into the pet egg summoning until recently. And Merlin. I mean, here's my concern with this many pets already is if they keep adding more pets, it's going to really, really complicate things. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, obviously, I know they said they wanted to put one more pet in for sure. We'll see what happens. And I'm guessing they're going to put some more heroes in as well. It should be interesting. I'm glad that, oh my goodness, we have a lot of adventures that are open right now. All right, we'll join this one. Everyone thinks things are difficult, and then you need to think about it from a free-to-play view like me. Hey, I completely understand your struggle. I mean, I can't say that I'm free to play on Facebook. I'm not. But I was free to play for a long time, considering I did not have VIP 1 for the first, I want to say, 4 or 5 months that I played. Wow, now I'm doubting myself. But I definitely understand your pain. I was free to play for a long, long time on Facebook. On mobile, I'm completely free to play, but I also think it's easier to be free to play on mobile because there's no totems and there's no pets. And I think those are the two most financially consuming parts of the game. I mean, obviously, I know a lot of people spend on heroes as well, but I think the most expensive portions of the game are definitely totems, as well as what was I saying? Pets and totems. Those are the two things. So, I mean, I completely get you, Chris, and I completely understand. But hopefully, you're grinding through. And I think, the good thing, too, is players like yourself that stick around, you guys will outlast some of the players. I mean, I know a lot of players who, did invest a good amount of money into the game. Then, now they're no longer playing, sadly. But, it's nice to have players that stick around. And it's always good to have a good base because I feel like, those are the people that know how to grind it out and basically will ultimately prevail. And I think it's a lesson that you can learn not only in the game, but take to, a certain extent into your own personal life. So I always find it very encouraging. And I love the people who, are able to have the self-control to be free to play. I do not have enough self-control, obviously, but hey, hats off to you. Hats off to all you guys who are free to play. That's awesome. Glyphs are pretty expensive if you go the Emerald route. Hey, Calvin, nice to have you with me. Always a pleasure. Oh gosh, got a great group of people here. Love it. Got 2 blue pets. Do 2 blue +1 pets. Okay, solid. Which 2 pets do you have there that are blue? Level 91. Hey, you know what? It's a struggle, and once you hit, I think it's once you hit level 120, it feels like getting to level 130 is very, very far away. I know on my other account on 51, I'm on 127, and I'm like, I don't remember it taking me this long to get to level 130. But, it's a slow going process, but Once you get there and you no longer have to do tower, that will be, you'll be happy. So keep working on it. If you're level 91, that's really good. Once you get to level 130, you will be able to no longer have to worry about doing the daily tower run, which for me is a nightmare because it takes longer than you would think it would. Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, definitely leveling up can be a little bit of a nuisance. And the thing that I like about my main team here is whenever I see Rufus, I'm not worried at all because Kark can slice right through Rufus. Physical attacker, of course, right? But as I was saying, I will be making that Rufus counter video. And I know a lot of people have, obviously are aware of the physical attack counters, but I also got asked to maybe mention a couple of the unconventional or maybe less talked about ways to counter Rufus. So I am actually working on that video right now. Right now. Oof. But yeah, so that will be in the works. I just need to finish up this route, and then I will get back to doing my daily quests. I apologize. This is taking a little longer than I expected, but I also probably should have just been skipping my matches. So that's on me. Skip battle. Okay. Yeah, so hey, don't worry about Yasmin. If you've got Helios and you're working on him, Helios will save you because Helios is great against critical attackers, and Yasmin, like, her two strongest points about her are the fact that she deals mad critical hit damage and she dodges like crazy. So if you have Helios, you will be able to counter Yasmin. It's just a matter of time. Um, the tough thing is, though, obviously, that a lot of the Yasmins, because of the Yasmin event, are 5 or 6 star. And so until you get to the point where you're at like basically an equivalent of that opposing Yasmin or close to it, sometimes your Helios will struggle more than you should. But don't worry, it's kind of a fluke. You'll catch up. Yeah, hey, absolutely. So let's see. Chris, you'll be fine. Don't worry. I'm also working on a Kark counter video. So everyone wants to know how to counter Kark, and he's my main hero. And every time I put in a counter video, my teams end up getting worked a little bit. I mean, granted, look at where I dropped already. So I was at rank 25, and now I'm back to 53. I mean, it is just what it is. It's a constant battle up here, and then I end up waking up the next morning to like rank 200 or something. Um, so it is what it is. I mean, it's all fun. Everyone counters everyone. What are you gonna do? All right, so pet summoning. I need to do one of these guys, and we got one soul stone. That's surprising. Not at all. All right, so let's see. It's hard to time that with a magic team. Okay, that's true. Yasmin destroys my Helios ult right when the green skill ends. Helios does nothing, and Helios doesn't resurrect because I don't use Astaroth. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like Rufus as a tank as well, but I don't think knowing. Okay, here's the thing with counter. Just because you know a counter doesn't mean you have the hero at the requisite strength to be able to use that hero effectively. So I'm going to reset this real quick. But yeah, so Helios, I would just say keep strengthening your Helios. Right now, your biggest problem with your Helios is it's going to be way weaker than other people's Yasmins. And I'll tell you why. Because again, with the Yasmin event that was available, Yasmin can be Ultimate Star already. And if people are concentrating on Yasmin as their main attacker, it's just going to take a while for your Helios to catch up in terms of getting those items, as well as, getting, when I say items, right, we're talking about like purple, orange, yellow, or purple, orange, red, for example, right? So just keep working on your Helios. You'll be able to take down the Yasmin soon enough. Like for right now, if I were to try to use my Helios, he's not strong enough to contend with a red uh, Yasmin. He's just not. I mean, he'll get taken out before he's fully able to be useful to me. So I have to find other unconventional ways to counter Yasmin, and I do. But you know, that's just one thing. You know, eventually your Yasmin will catch up, or your Helios will catch up to your the other Yasmin. So don't worry about it. Keep working with Helios. Don't worry, it will pay off in the long run. Okay. And yeah, I mean, Calvin, also, I think the other thing is with the ranking times, you might have an earlier ranking time than I do. I personally don't always attack every day, so there's that too. I mean, I try to, but sometimes I'll just attack once in Grand Arena because classes have been super crazy for me lately. But you know, congrats on being up there in the rankings, Calvin. I'm never surprised. Okay, let's see. So Helios purple skill depends on her green skill. Talking about Yasmin. Sorry, I'm not up to date here. So purple skill of Helios. The purple skill, yeah, okay. The purple skill, each time Helios allies get critically hit, the flaming sphere may damage the attacker with a fire beam. Right, okay. And you're talking about Yasmin's which skill? I think you mean this Dance of Death, but I'm not sure. Embrace of Pain. Oh, maybe you mean Embrace of Pain. Depends on her green skill. Yeah, so it's the second one. So Yasmin's critical hit chance and dodger increase for 10 seconds. Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Facebook is obviously you don't want your Helios doing direct damage to Yasmin because Yasmin will target that particular hero. So, I mean, the other thing too is if your twins are strong enough, your twins will be able to take out Yasmin, which is another reason why I'm working on my twins. So, I guess I'll have to finish that a little later, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. Keep working on your twins. Keep working on Helios. You'll be fine, and Yasmin won't be a threat for too much longer because at red +2, the twins are very, very tough. I don't think anyone can dispute that. And with your Helios, when you get your Helios stronger, you won't need to worry about Yasmin. I promise you'll be fine. Keep doing your thing. Okay. So you just finished floor 3,500 in dungeon. Congratulations. The dungeon is super annoying. I sometimes don't love I don't love doing it, generally speaking. It looks like I need to help out here, but I think I can just get away with doing cards today because we're close enough to the 7,500 mark that I don't need to actually do like 100 floors. And I'm still a ways away because I think 15,000 is what you need to get the frame. I just slack pretty hard on this sometimes, and I don't always go as far as I should, which using the cards does not help. You should only really be using the cards against the hero matchups if you want to go as far as you can. But I'm feeling a little bit lazy today, so I'm just gonna use the cards. All right. Hey, Lucas, nice to have you with me. Okay, so I'm just finishing this up real quick, but it says when the sphere is up, it may hit them with a flaming beam. Yeah, so I mean, the other thing too is like you got to be careful of the fact that sometimes it can dodge the beam, right? We're talking about Yasmin here, can sometimes dodge the beam, which is unfortunate, but it can happen. But if you have the twins as well, honestly, you should be fine if you continue to level them up. Remember, here are a couple things to remember. If the opposing Yasmin is stronger than your hero team, you're gonna struggle against that Yasmin because your effects are less effective against heroes with a higher level, and their effects, right, or skills will be more effective on your heroes because you have a lower lower player level. Yeah, lower player level that's just kind of how it works. It's kind of unfortunate, but that's how it works there. You made a bad turn in dungeon. It happens. I mean, the tough thing with the dungeon as well is just like obviously sometimes you just run into a matchup where you basically face the same type, if you will. Like let's say you face the water, the water card like 10 times. Well, it feels like 10 times. It's probably like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, that can take you out. Here I'm gonna actually. I could keep going, but doesn't really get us any more spheres because we just acquired all 5. So I'll stop there, but I'll use the rest of them a little bit later when the day turns over. So here you can see, of course, we got the 5 spheres. Apollo, being a great guildmate, decided to give us all a large skinstone chest. Not complaining. Thank you so much, Apollo. Okay, so hero chest opening, heroic chest opening. 3 Luther skinstones, or not skinstones, soul stones. Don't need those, so I will trade them in. Really don't need any of these items. I really need better items that are unavailable to me right now. Let's see. Okay, so I'm not really seeing anything that I really need. Oh well, let's see what I have in inventory. I do have these 5 boxy gifts, but I'm kind of, I guess I may as well open them. So I keep getting timed out by Celeste and Martha. And hey, Calvin, honestly, it's not a big deal. I mean, obviously, I'm sure your entire guild doesn't always rely on you for doing Titanite, so you're probably more in the clear than I am. Often, if I don't do my share, then we struggle a little bit in completing our Titanite, but we got it done today, so no fears there. Okay, let's see. You had way too much energy today. Could never get rid of it. Finally spent it all to hit level 124 and get 250 energy. That is definitely probably one of the few downsides of being a free-to-play player is you don't have that raid option. And it feels like you have to sit there for what seems like forever. Completely understand that. And that's tough, but good for you for grinding that out and getting to level 124. That's awesome. So you keep getting timed out by Celeste and Martha. Celeste is just way too hyper, spamming her ult every other second. So you have 2 options there. So when you see Celeste and Martha, both of them are really good at healing. If you have your own Celeste and can put her in dark mode, right, because you have a manual option, then that could potentially help as well. If not, Cornelius can help you take down Celeste, and hopefully that will allow you to take down the leftover Martha. So I use fire, I'm fine. Water, I worked on Sigurd a lot. Okay, that's awesome. Earth, you never use unless you have to. I completely understand that strategy. For the longest time, I avoided using water because my water team was not great. Granted, now it's a little bit more improved, but I usually relied on my earth team, and then my fire team was my second strongest. So I completely understand where you're coming from. Totally get that. But yeah, you definitely want to focus on the tanks if you're just focusing on dungeon, because Sigurd, Sigurd, Moloch, and Angus will definitely take you a long way, and Avalon helps as well. So those are, definitely want to work your tanks. Doesn't hurt to work on those. And let's see. So I gotta do a couple more of these just so I can get some more Titan potions. The nice thing is we usually get all 10, get all 10 summoning spheres that you can get daily. So that's really cool. No complaints. And the nice thing is I'm getting a lot of these 30 Titan Soul Stones, which is awesome. And trade those guys in. I'll hold on to those last 7. Trade these guys in. Get some Titan potions. 54,000, not too bad. I'll probably do a couple levels here. So, let's see. I think I got Nova here. So we will level up Nova a little bit, so to level 109, I think. That looks like the extent of what I can do there. I don't think, yeah, so not enough to level up either Mary or Vulcan, but we're well on our way. We just had these last 3 Titans to get to level 120, which is nice. Slow going, but it's a process, you know. Hey, gotta trust in it. Let's see. So I think the only other thing I can really do potentially is check out the skins, and I'm still very far away from being able to get even close to absoluting those skins. But it's a process, and we're gonna trust it, as I've been saying before. Okay. So that takes care of that. What else do we have? Upgrade any hero skin. So we got to upgrade our card because he's not done. We're getting close. So now we're at level 38 of 60. And this is also a great event for that because you get those skinstone chests and you can trade those in for, you know, whatever kind of skinstone you like. I've been trading a lot of them in for, what have I been trading them in for? I've been trading them in for the intelligence ones because those are the ones that I need for my twins. Let's see, I don't think I can level up my Avalon just yet. We only have 2,000 of the essence, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to level up an Ignis, the first skill here. And it'll be worth it because we'll get more in the level up. So 400, cool. EXP potion. Okay, I guess we will upgrade Dorian by 1 level. Hey, Success. Hey, Niels. Nice to have you guys with me. Always a pleasure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say about your guild activity. If you can, you want to try to get as close to 1750 as possible, even if you have to trade in some items. The reason I say that is you get those glyphs. Well, the glyph stones. The runic stones, I think. What are they called? The runes. Yeah, these runes are very, very helpful, especially to your main team. So if you can get them, go for it. I recommend. Let's see. Please, which hero can defeat the last boss in Chapter 13? You have a problem. Let me see which one Chapter 13 is. What is Chapter 13? Is that Cormac? Or is that 14? Let's see if this guy loads up here. Maybe, maybe not. So, are you talking about Cormac on Chapter 14, or are you talking about Chapter 13's boss? Chapter 13 boss is, I remember this guy. So, you're going to need some healing. If you don't have healing, you will struggle against this boss. I don't remember the boss's name off the top of my head here, but let's take a look. So, Shavarak, right? The key to this guy is to have a lot of healing. And I don't know what team you use. What team do you use? Typically Success. So then I can try to better help you plan an attack against this particular setup. So if you could just tell me what your team is, we will work on that together. So Titanite, I'm worthless, 150, but we'll hit like 13k Titanite in one day. That's awesome. That means you're maxing out Titanite. What else? What more can you ask for? Can we trade Sigurds? If I could, I would trade you my Sigurd. I would also trade you any extra soul stones that I get. I typically get, I mean, it's almost like once you finish all of your Titans, they start giving you a lot more of the, you know, the, what is it? The Super Titans, and it's like, I don't need them anymore. Why am I getting them all now? But the game is funny that way. It gets to you. Okay. Okay, let's see. Dang, those green skills. Yes, I take that too. Artifacts. I'm close to Violet for Sigurd. That's awesome. So Success. Yeah, just tell me what your team is, and we will talk about it here. Thanks, Spammy, for stopping in. We're super happy to have you here. Make sure you get some rest. If it's 2 a.m., you definitely deserve it. Okay, so 200 light crystals. Traded those in. Perfect. 13 is the Ice Demon. Yeah. Okay, so Yasmin, Ju, Dorian, Astaroth, and maybe Sebastian and Orion. Okay. Your Sebastian keeps dying. Okay. Well, my biggest thing here is, do you have a Martha available? That could potentially help you survive longer. So, um, I use a pretty different team than you do, so I don't know if I'd be able to do as well. But let's see. So you use Astaroth, Dorian. Here's my problem with Dorian is great, but he's great for the back line. Yasmin, Dorian, Orion. Orion's good with Dorian and Jew. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just, what pet do you use? Do you use Oliver as a pet, or do you use um do you use Oliver? Do you use Albus? Who do you use for a pet? Do you use Kane? Yeah, so Chris, I'm at Seymour. I cannot really scratch him enough. You use Axel. Axel's a great choice. So my team would not be able to beat, I don't think, the team that we have up here right now. Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to beat that. But I think, just trying to think, I really think Martha would be essential to your team success. And the reason I say that is because um, with Martha, you just really don't take any damage. I mean, I'll go in with this squad here, but I think, and I'm going to use Oliver, but definitely Axel's better than Oliver. But the thing I'm going to say for me is, I mean, with my cart just takes down opponents. But I think with that last boss, if I remember correctly here, I'm just going to go ahead and auto this. But if I remember correctly, I think it's healing. The biggest thing is healing against that boss because he does so much team damage. He basically attacks your entire team in the middle. So I'm looking here, and it looks like, okay, he didn't even have time to attack, um, but I think if you use a healer like Martha, that would allow you to basically be able to distribute more healing to your entire team, and I don't think you would. I think you'd be able to take them down a little easier. Sorry, I used my bad. I probably should use a different team, but so you want to see Seymour. Seymour wrecks me, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even stand a chance. I mean, was hmm, Cormac was okay. I mean, I didn't have Yasmin, so it was tough at the time. But yeah, Seymour just wrecks me, and also sometimes he doesn't animate very well on my screen. We can try it, but I'm not gonna do very well. Sadly, I get wrecked every time. And of course, it just doesn't like to load when I'm doing this live stream. But if when I start getting closer to beating him, I will definitely post something for you. Don't get me wrong. Um, but Jew is key to this. I don't have Jew strong enough yet. I'm gonna have to reload my game. Um, and I don't think I'm gonna beat that one, so it's fine. It's fine. Tier. But we will work on it. The last mission that you need tank for, how hard is it? I don't remember chapter 14 being that difficult. If I'm being 100% honest, The most annoying thing about the tank was just filling it, right? The coolant tank, that was super annoying. Had to fill that. There's also a Titan tank that you have to fill. Let me see. I might still have on my desktop, might still have images for that. So yeah, so here we go. This is, I think, and I don't know if you can see this or not. Can you see this? Yeah, so this is careful steps. This is, basically you're just having to fill this up. I think this one's for your Titans, I think. Then I think there's another one for your heroes. Nope, that's Titans as well. So Titans, the max you can get in a day, I believe, is 39 of these cubes, and it's really annoying because it almost takes what feels like a month. I don't think it takes that long. So this is very similar to, there is a hero portion of that you have to finish earlier on in chapter. I think it's 14 or 13. But basically, you have to do a similar thing and fill up a coolant. It's a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. Right? Okay. So that is what we have there. And I'll show you my Jew. My Jew is just not strong enough. I've tried a couple of times. I haven't tried recently. But I will continue working on him. Right now, my Jew is, and the biggest thing I think is my glyphs are, pathetic right now on him because I've been so focused on other heroes. Skins, I have all of them, but they're not maxed. Artifacts are still weak. Gift of Elements is maxed. That's good at least. Items, he's an orange. Skills are done. But I just think that I need to work a little bit more on basically getting him stronger. He's not strong enough just yet. But I promise I will continue to work on him and get him to a point where he's usable. Right now he's not. But one of these days, I promise. So, okay. We're getting close. I'm sure we'll get there. I will test it out a little bit later. But what team did I use for filling the tanks? The team that I used the Faceless Kark team. So I used... I didn't have Astaroth available, so I used Cleaver, Kark, Nebula, Martha, and then I also used Faceless. And if I didn't, depending on the day, but usually I use Faceless and I used a manual version. When I faced Cormac, I used Anvari, Nebula, and, I used Anvari, Cleaver, Kark, Nebula, and Martha. So I didn't have Astaroth available, which was dumb of me. That was my fault, 100%. And I didn't have Daredevil available because Daredevil was not good at the time. But now I regret that because I wish my Daredevil was stronger. It is what it is. We'll work on that later. But yeah, so just, some things in hindsight, if I had known that they were going to rework some characters, I would have probably formed my team a little bit differently. But awesome, you get 30 coolant a day. That's awesome. That's really good. Use Yasmin with Seymour. I think Yasmin is a great option against Seymour. My biggest worry just generally with Seymour is how much damage he deals. And so I need to just get my defense a little stronger. My Astaroth isn't quite there. I'm pretty sure Calvin has a pretty good Astaroth, maybe. But the other thing is, too, like, obviously with these bosses, they try to set it up so that, trying to think, so that basically your normal meta teams would not do as well, I would think. And I think it's the same with Outland. So, like, a hero that I would never normally use, like Astrid and Lucas, is super great in Outland, but I would never use her in a I would never use her in a matchup. I just wouldn't. But yeah, so I'm going to finish up this chest tower run. So your Jew is 60k, still not doing enough damage to Seymour. Yeah, I don't even know what, mine's probably weaker than yours, Calvin, and I need it to be stronger. I think 90k is kind of the key rough figure that I'm aiming for before I really take a hard go at Seymour. But he's tough. He's a tough cookie. Deals a lot of damage. And I almost feel like the two necessary components, almost three, right, is Astaroth, Jew, and Yasmin. And the reason I say Astaroth is on the off chance that your hero, a hero gets knocked out, because Seymour does hit really hard. It's nice to be able to resurrect a hero. Otherwise, you can't get 3 stars, and I love 3 stars, right? It looks really cool. Um, so that's something I would consider. Let me double check how strong my Jew is. I think he's at like 20k. No, I'm kidding. 40k. So he's really weak, and he needs some buffing up of these glyphs. But we'll get there. I'm also working on the twins, so it's just slow going. Just got a lot of projects going on. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. I think I completed almost all the quests that I had to do for today. Let's see if there's any other questions again. I'm trying to do Krista, Jew, Lars, Faceless, and Martha. So you're trying to not use a tank. Okay. So Calvin, have you tried using what do you call it? Faceless on Martha to basically increase the speed of your attacks? I heard that's really worked out really well. And I would not be surprised. I mean, Chris is a great off tank. When I say off tank, she's one of the best options. If heroes that are not designated as tanks that can be used as tanks are typically Krista and Vari, and I think those are the two main ones I can think of that are not designated as tanks but can be used as tanks. So that could definitely be an option. I would just say, I don't know if you've tested out already, but using the double speed boost I think is going to be the best and fastest way for us since we don't have the strongest Jew invested right now. But yeah, I think ultimately we'll be able to take him down. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so I think that concludes everything I needed to do. All she needs to survive is a few hits, and with the ice cube, it's fine for Seymour. So Niels really likes Elmer. I don't have a strong Elmer, so I could not test that at all, but I believe you. And I am going to let you all go because I know it's getting late out there for some of you guys. But I wanted to thank you guys so much for stopping by and enjoying this live stream with me. It was great to be able to interact with all you guys, and I do hope to have a Discord up in the future. I know that was asked, and I will be having that Rufus video dropping very soon, as well as other counter videos coming out for you more regularly. I apologize. School's been really busy, but I will be working on that. Thank you so much for stopping in, guys. It's always a pleasure. Love having the Hero Wars community, guys. You guys are amazing.